And there we go. It's triggered and I hit that. I'm now recording with my Insta. Hi everyone. Now I've been doing a lot of reviews recently on CarPlay systems. I really love them. Now you may have noticed that I always compare like the IOC or the Innov to what I consider to be probably the top notch, which is the Chigee. Now I've only ever tested the XR2. Now if you want to come have a look at the XR2, which is a smaller unit, it's a 4-inch unit, which I absolutely love, to the point where it stays on the bike. It's stayed on the bike since the review and I swear by it. I like the size as well. However, got something just before Christmas in the post from Chigee, a box of goodies. Loads of stuff. And I suppose the crowning piece here is the AIO-6 LTE and a load of other bits and pieces like the quick release, the OBD system, the cameras and everything. So now, love this unit. Is this going to take precedence? Is this going to take over? Is this going to be the new top dog? Is this the Gucci of CarPlay? Right, let's get inside, let's get it unboxed, and then of course the usual fitting and on the road test. See you later. Everything's out of its little plastic protective covers and we're ready to have a look. So just quickly go through what exactly we've got here. So we've got the AIO-6 LTE. Now remember there's the Max. The Max doesn't come with SIM support. We have a crossbar mounting base. We have the OBD, so you can talk to the bike. We have a quick release kit. We have the 60 frames per second 1080 cameras. And we have the quick release base. Right, let's start with the AIO-6 LTE first of all. So there's the box and there's the unit. Sturdy looking unit. Oh, it has buttons. We'll find out what they do in a bit. Oh, it's got its own little screen protector. And yeah, so that's probably to be changed. Let's see what else is in the box. I expect that is the fixtures and fittings. Okay, so we have the handlebar spacers, 3 sizes, little strip of protector thing, some cable splicers, and of course we have some cable ties, a Chigee sticker, and some Chigee cable tie Velcro thingies. Okay, this is the actual to plug into the back. There's a USB there and your power cables. Now I may be lucky and it's the same as the XR2, which means I don't have to sod around putting the new one on. Or sorry, this is of course the power cable. So you have your positive, your negative and your ACC, your live ignition. You've got some tools. Here is the ball mount if you're going to be using the standard ball mount, like so, and a fantastic key ring. Next up we'll take a look at this box, which is the quick release base. Instructions. Okay, oh there we go. Oh, it's quite thin, that's good. And I'm presuming that is some kind of a protective cover. Let's see what happens if I push that down. Oh yeah, there we go. So when not in use, you've got this, as long as you don't lose it. Let's hope this all spares on the website. And in the box it comes with exactly the same stuff that comes with the actual unit itself. So I've got another power cable, which means of course I can fit this to the bike and maybe use the other power cable on another bike if I choose so. So the same mounts as before. Now we have a second quick release kit, although the other one is the quick release base. So interesting to see if this is any different. Okay, it's exactly the same, but it doesn't come with all of the cables as did the base. Next, let's unbox the cameras. Now they are 60 frames per second, 1080. I presume they're marked up. B, back, F front. You can usually tell because the back's always the longer of the cables, and your mounts and some various nuts and bolts to put them together. Here we have the, what's it called? The crossbar mounting base. There we go. So that should be able to go onto the fairing support of the Fireblade if I decide to put it on that bike, which is quite cool. And on that I could put the quick release, in theory. Last but not least, really is like Christmas, isn't it? We've got the OBD. So this will allow the bike to speak to the unit and share all kinds of stats. So here's the unit that plugs into the OBD port on the bike, and it's a Bluetooth unit. Comes with a bit of tape. Oh, there we go. And it comes with an adapter there. Now I was hoping to do the setup in the house using the what they call the diagnostics port that's on under the cover on the side, using a standard USB cable. I was hoping to do that. Unfortunately, I did try and plug it in and it doesn't seem to work. So what I'm going to do now in the house, because outside it's freezing, is just pop in the SD card that is my own and the 4G Internet of Things SIM. Now that goes, or they go, under there, and it comes, as you saw in the unboxing, with its own little, I don't know what they're called, that kind of hexy screwdrivery thingy majig. So that's that diagnostics port there that, well, according to the internet, it works to power up, but it's not with me, so I'm not sure why. And then the bottom one is your SD, and the little slot on the top is your SIM. Now looking at the instructions, I believe it is supposed to go in like that. So we shall see. It clicked. I heard a definite click. And here is the card. I think it's 6 months free, and then after that there's a charge, which of course I will be looking into once you know, once we've got it in and we've got it set up very carefully. And once again I heard a definite click. So I think that's good. While I'm here, one thing I thought I'd mention is that if you're using the ball mount, so you're using this, therefore your power cable goes into here, it has retention screws there. So you put that on there, and then of course with that little screwdriver we were using before, you tighten that up there. Now I won't be doing that because the quick release base has its own set of cables. What we can do now though in the house is fit the quick release kit. So with this off, we can fit this, and it comes with its own screws in the little bag. And with that in place, it basically just clips in like that, and to remove like that. Now, can you see, will it focus? That little screw there is the locking screw. Now, in the box, you get a little triangle screwdriver thing. Line up this, and I turn it. That will no longer come off. And then unscrew, and it comes off. Right, well, let's start with the initial setup. So obviously we're in languages and we want English. United Kingdom, this is for the LTE, this is for the SIM. Okay. Okay. Please connect to the network. Okay, we're connected. Active immediately, yes. Activation success. connect to Wi-Fi. I am connected to Wi-Fi. What about CarPlay? So let's connect to a device. So I'm going to go into Bluetooth and we're going to search for Chigee 4950. So here we go, Chigee 4950 LE, and then we've got a normal Chigee 4950. Now I think the LE is actually for notifications, whereas the Chigee 4950, according to online, is for the CarPlay. So I probably just hit the wrong one, and now we'll also pair that. Pair, authorize connection, allow, pairing request, connect, and we have CarPlay. Oh, it was very quick, wasn't it? How responsive is it? Oh, wow. That's lightning fast compared to some of the other units. Forgot to mention that we have buttons on the top. So your top button is your home. That's back to CarPlay. You've got a screen lock, and I think that's camera's locked out. That's the start and stop recording if you want to do that. But right, let's have a look at the main menu. We've got a display and volume, very bright, or you can set it to automatic. Okay. A volume, a touch tone, which is this ticking you're hearing, which I quite like, and your startup sound. Our storage, our card, our features. So we've got a time, which is automatically set up. It's picked it up from the Wi-Fi. Time format, year, month, date, or you can have it day, month, year, which is far more British. Altitude calibration, a blind spot detection, which we will look at more when we're on the bike. And then we have more, and here we can set our distance, unit to mile. I like Celsius. There'll be more settings to look at in the camera settings, but we can't do that at the moment because I ain't got any cameras plugged in. I just noticed we've got a tutorial section here, which has got a list of instructions. So luckily the clamp for the XR2 is exactly the same as the one that comes in the box with the AIO-6. So this is where I had it before, and so this is where it can probably stay. So the first thing we're going to do before we start cabling is of course get the unit on there. That way of course we know the reach of the cables. So here's the unit itself, and of course it fits into there. So let me grab the correct little keys and then we'll get it positioned. Then of course this cable will go along to the power. This is the front, which will go down there, and this is the rear, which will connect to the cable going to the rear camera, and of course we will route that correctly once we've got the cameras on. Annoyingly, these brackets are different than the ones for the XR2, so I'll have to replace those and re-stick them on with the 3M tape that it comes with, but it's really easy. Here's one I prepared earlier. Annoyingly, there's no markings on the cameras to show which is top and bottom, you know, so that would be something we'd have to kind of adjust once they're on the bike and the unit is turned on. Okay, so what I need to do now is take off this side trim so as I can tidy up these cables, and then remove the rear camera. This is the XR2 camera with its sexy kind of homemade mount, and that goes there. So it's going to be a case of take off the seat to get to the trim and then rock and roll. Trust me, to do a review in January is absolutely freezing today.
Don't push back.
Okay, old camera off. A new camera will get it threaded. Right, not through here. Okay, so I had to slightly bodge it at the moment with some tape and cable ties, but what I'll do is I'll make that bracket, I'll get a bigger bracket there so that it fits better. But apart from that, yep, rock and roll. So something I did but didn't film was to repair the remote control that I already had. And to do that, I just went into here, into peripheral remote controller, and it just said connect, and then press any button on that, and it literally connected in absolute seconds. Okay, power wise, this is the Chigee cable. It's the same that was on the XR2 and the AIO-5, so if you already got it on, you don't have to sod around, as I didn't. But basically the positive is on there on the battery, the negative was on there, and this is going off my ACC, which in my case is a little thing at the back to the tail light. So simple as that. Now, one little problem I've got so far is that they sent me the 8-pin OBD port cable for the OBD unit, but this is the OBD 2 16-pin, so I've got to get in touch with them about an adapter. Right, so OBD, I had to get Chigee to send me the adapter, so let's see if that's right, first of all. To put it, because that's a lot of stuff to go under the seat now. Okay, so you go on there. Like that, and then you are going to go on there. Okay, peripheral, OBD, and probably can't see. This is kind of flashing red. We'll just see, hit pair, and we'll see what happens. Now, one of the best advantages about it being a modular system, which means you buy and you add on bits and pieces, is you can, for example, in this case, I've bought the crossbar mount and the second release kit so that I can then just swap it over onto Bumbleblade. And in the case of Bumbleblade, I've of course put it onto the fairing brace mount. That's just some protection there. I'll just see the way I am. But yeah, it's basically just put it on there and you attach it to whatever mount you're going to use. What I'm going to need to do now, of course, is add the power. I'll take off the seat. I can either go off of the positive or the negative and the ACC, which I've actually got this yellow wire here, or in this case I have the Heeltech Thunderbox fitted, which makes life really, really easy. There's a video of that, I'll put it in the description above. We're going to put the ACC into one, positive, and the red into the next positive, and then we're going to put the negative into negative. These little kits are brilliant, and of course they only fire up once you turn your ignition on. So of course the great advantage of this is of course you can have one unit and swap between bikes, and depending, because it's modular, you can decide if you want a camera or not. This on Bumbleblade is going to be just this, just the screen itself. So of course you can take off the other bike, take off this, get your unit, plug it in and turn it on. Let's see how long it takes to fire up. And there we go, coming on to Chigee. And we're on. It's going straight onto the Insta screen. I don't know if that's supposed to do that, but either way, let's hit the home button and there we are. Unbelievable. Good, isn't it? Right, so I suppose we've looked at it in the comfort of my living room, and now let's see what it's like on the road. The great thing is though, apart from of course, the touch screen, we can also, if you use the remote control, long press, you're on CarPlay, long press, you're on cameras, short press, and you're in between the cameras, and you hold it there. That's our Insta, we can try that out as well. Long press, we're on our tilt, and we're back to home. So let's start off with the home, go off, and then we'll explore the lot, we'll look at downloading, we'll look at loads of stuff. So, here we go. Check our mirrors. Mirror signal maneuver. So think of it, you've got three options to play around with changing the screens. You've got the remote control, I just showed you. You've got buttons up here, like that. Another one pressed to home. And of course you've got the touchscreen itself, which is pretty nifty. I haven't got any other unit, or I haven't tried any other unit that's got three separate ways. Now personally, from experience, this remote control is awesome, and I reckon it's worth the investment. It's Bluetooth as well. Most other units, I think all other units are, it's a cable, and this is Bluetooth. As you know, we've got all of our weather stuff up here, and look at that. How cool is that? This is of course live because this is the LTE version. So this is using 4G from its SIM card. Now you ain't going to get that on the Max, but you might not want it. But yeah, anyway, that's our home screen. We can hit here, and we've got some more data below. I don't want to do too much riding and playing around with the screen, it's a bit dangerous. Which is also another reason for the remote control. So let me long press, and we're on CarPlay. Now this CarPlay works just like any other CarPlay. I don't think I really need to go into an explanation of the whys and the wheres and the whats and how it works. But yeah, it does what it's supposed to do. You can make your call. Oh, look at that. So that was my blind spot detection kicking in, and it will detect if something's coming up your rear, who are misses, quite fast. Now I haven't tried that. That's the first time I've ever seen it function. As you can see, it gave me a bit of a caution, so maybe I'm going to see someone coming up. I'm going to have a look at my mirrors and maybe move out the way because they haven't seen me, or whatever. Ah, there's our tilt screen. which of course in the setup in the house, I showed you how to calibrate that. But look at that, almost Marc Marquez already. 8 degrees. Right, this is one of our OBDs. You can see here, we've got our revs there, got our speed. What about the other one? Okay, and here's another OBD screen. So of course this is talking to the bike via the OBD unit. So we've got our totals, our range, we've got our engine temperature, we've got our outside temperature, tyre pressures, lean angle, and our battery voltage. So you look at that, it's just literally it is talking to the bike. Now on the Triumph, that's brilliant because it's given me a lot more than I get off of the TFT of the Triumph. Size-wise, the unit, I was a bit worried. It's a bit big. It's a 6-inch against a 5-inch TFT, and yet I don't know if you can see where I am, but that's bloody nice actually. That's perfect. It seems quite symmetric, even though it's bigger. I do like it. So there's our rear camera. There's a quick press. There's our front and a small rear. And there's that. You know, you go along, and of course the great thing is, it's a great rear camera, isn't it? And it's certainly better than a lot of cameras. Now those lines are part of the blind spot detection, the kind of its range, its area. That can be removed if you want, and you can also remove some of the overlay stuff. Now what is quite cool is you can see here that Insta little button. If I tap that, right, and I hit that, I'm now recording with my Insta. Now that is a lot easier than fiddling around here trying to press that button, which is impossible with gloves. And then look at that, turn it off. I mean, that is freaking awesome. Press the button, let's go back to home. Oh, so we go. There we go. That is mental. I suppose the big question is, you know, why do you really need all this stuff? Well, you don't need it. But then again, you don't need air conditioning. You don't need climate control in your car. You don't need it, but it makes life better, doesn't it? Oh dear. Road closed. No doubt it's HS bloody 2 or something. Right, see that? Touchscreen works brilliantly. Now a lot of people say, oh, it's really, really good, it's as quick as a phone. No, it's not as quick as a phone. It's not as quick as an iPhone, but it is quick. And I'm, without having them all next to me, the ones I've tried out, I think it's probably the quickest. I know it's the quickest to boot up. I think it seems to be, or about the same as the INNOV. We will talk about some of the negatives, and there is one massive negative, which I'll tell you in a bit. But at the end of the day, this unit is absolutely amazing. But we'll wait for the but. Let's just play around and get used to it, because this is also quite new to me, even though I'm not new to CarPlays. Well, Android Auto, of course, if that's that, but me, CarPlay. This is the first time out on this, using this unit, like the first time. So there's going to be some things that probably afterwards I'll think, oh shit, I forgot to mention that. Let's get one thing out of the way though. Why do you need a CarPlay? Well, if you're like my mate who lost £1,000 iPhone, flew off his quad lock. I'm not saying anything about quad lock, you could just put it on wrong. That's a lot of money. And also from experience, when I was just using the phone, you got temperatures. I've had oh god, a warning because water's got into the charging port and that sort of thing. This is IP69. This is -20 Antarctic. Even Trump would want it for Greenland, and desert temperatures, and it works, whereas your phone doesn't. This is a hardcore unit. And then of course something that's really cool is, of course, you can take it off, stick it in your pocket. Well, you're going to want to at £500 for a unit, aren't you? You're not going to want to leave it on your bike regardless. And that gives you the advantage of course, sticking it on another bike, as I have got the other quick release on the Fireblade. So bang, bang, bang. It's fantastic because it's modular. This is a modular unit, and that is cool. Now, what about the LTE? Now, the LTE, of course, is with the 4G. You get 6 months free, and then I think you have to pay a data plan. I'm not sure how much that is at the moment. But with that, you've got live access to your cameras. You may get to lend your bike to a mate or something. Just want to see what silliness they're up to, something like that. You've got geofencing. It gives you full alerts. Because of course you've got parking sensors on this. So with the parking sensors, of course, that allows you to receive text information of what's going on with the bike. Give you a warning that it's being moved, that sort of thing. And you can set it so that if it leaves a certain area, it will let you know. Or if it enters a certain area, it'll let you know. I've still got to play around with that, but you can guarantee when I check my phone, I've got some alerts already, even though I haven't really set it, I don't think, correctly, because there's a lot to do. I do have the screen protector on this that I got after I did the filming in the house, so just to let you know. And it gives it a little bit more matte finish. It might make it nicer in the sun, sort of thing. Right, so what we'll do is we'll turn it off. But what do you think about the placement? It's alright, isn't it? Looks pretty good. Now, if it's like the Inov, you should get a red flashing there, but we'll see. Right, let's pick it up. Let's give it a push. Okay. Now, a lot of people expect it to start kicking in straight away, but it doesn't. So I'm gonna bring it down and see what happens. Right, the red light started going on. So we'll now see if that has recorded anything. Parking mode. Now actually what I want to do is see if I received an alert on my phone. Chigee. Check it out. So we've had a vibration alarm. So look at those again. So enter geofence alarm. I didn't set that properly. Entering geofence alarm. Vibration alarm. So yeah, we got an alert. So that has functioned. So what we could do now, let's see if it recorded. If I'm not mistaken, we go into there. We click. We're going to go into files. Yep, look at that. Look at that. I'm going to now see if I can work out how to download the footage. So, in theory, I go to here, I go to download, and it's going to stop recording. And I now have to go into my Wi-Fi and hook on to Chigee 4950 when it comes up. Okay, now let's go back into the Chigee app. Devices, connect to a vehicle system. Select that. Let's go to the car device thing, and there's our footage. So all we need to do now is select as such. No need to download them all, but let's download these ones here. Hit download, and it's downloading. There's our footage. One thing I wanted to test, just obviously this, let's go along to a music. Oh, you see that? It's already working. I haven't done the official test yet. No internet around here, of course, but yeah, let's just go and listen to my band, And of course, so you probably can't hear, but I'm starting to get music through here. Hey Cardo, music off. There you go, and you can make all your phone calls. You can do absolutely everything you can normally do with CarPlay via Siri, or of course via your Cardo app, or whatever it is, your Seno app, or anything you use if you're using voice commands, which makes the whole thing really, really easy and safe and completely hands-free. Right, let's see if we get some people to overtake me. Oh, look at the fucking roads. Jeez! And see what happens. Or is everyone going to be sensible? Oh, I found a dual carriageway. And I'm deliberately going slow. Looking in my mirror, I can see another car coming up behind me. Let's see how close it gets before it triggers. And there we go. It's triggered. It works. It works perfectly. It does what it says on the tin. That's pretty cool, isn't it? I do like that. And you can play around with the settings. Make sure you get your camera in the right place. And yeah, it's obviously people are going to say, and I've seen the comments on other CarPlays that have got this, or even when I did the BX, you should look over your shoulder. Yeah, of course you look over your shoulder. You do everything. It's just an extra, isn't it? It's an extra safety feature. You know, we got them in cars. I mean, I often, like, you know, look at my mirror and I can see it's flashing orange in the car mirror. So, you know, I'll take a bit of extra care. You know, on a bike, you've always got to take extra care. You've always got to, you know, as if you haven't got anything. But it's just an extra bit of safety kit. And, you know, the more you get, the better it is. Just don't rely on it. You just don't get lazy. But bikers ain't lazy, usually, are they? So what do I think about the Max versus the LTE? Well, you're getting a lot of great options with LTE. You know, your live video monitoring, all your alerts. You know, that is pretty good. You've got your emergency contacts, which I've already programmed in. So if I go down, it will alert my wife so she can start selling me bikes. Give her a bit of time, you know. There's a lot of good stuff with LTE. So I think that it's worth getting the LTE. Because remember, if you buy the Max and you decide later on you want to upgrade to LTE, you can't. Yeah, you can't. You'd have to change the unit. I don't think it's a lot more money. It's definitely worth it. Then whether you decide to pay the subscription after the free 6 months is up to you. Of course, you could decide. And then if you don't, well, it's just the Max. But you've always got that option. So yeah, personally, I'd say get the LTE. Right, let's look at what is now, I would say, the elephant in the room. And I mean, we've seen so far that this is a hell of a unit. It is absolutely brilliant. There's one small problem though with this. The price.
I utterly condemn the far-right thuggery.
Do you ride? Do you ride? What you got? I've also got a Ducati 848. Yeah, that's my not so mucky weather one, but yeah. You ride a lot? Absolutely, I won't be back, promise. Take care. Brought everything down here in my notes, so I'll give you an idea. Now, let's look at the basic setup for this bike. Now, on this bike, I've got the unit, I've got the quick release, I've got the tyre pressure sensors, I've got the remote control, and I've got the 1080 60 frames per second cameras. Now, cameras, obviously the AIO-6 LTE is 539.95p. Remember, this is in January, price is UK, so it will be different and there'll be discounts, all kinds of stuff, but roughly. Cameras on these are 174.99 just for the cameras. The quick release, 104 quid. The OBD, so yeah, I forgot about the OBD. The OBD is £81. Tyre pressure sensors and monitors are 70 quid. So, and the remote is 73 quid. So we're looking here for one bike. Let me bring down. Okay, now actually we don't do it. So for one bike, so this setup on this bike is £1,043. Now, if you consider, let's look, the in-of with pretty much the same basic stuff, obviously without no, OBD, that sort of thing, it's 348 quid. You've got here C6 Pro, which is 215 quid. So there's a huge difference in prices, but it does 3 times as much. So you need to ask yourself, Is that justified? Do you want that? Everyday Saturday rides, quick blast around the block? I don't reckon at all. At the same point, if you're riding all the time, you want to do lots, you're travelling, you're touring, well, you want everything, don't you? You know, so bear that in mind. But it is a lot of money, isn't it? You know, £1,000 of gear on this bike. You know, it's a lot. But it is, you got to admit, it is the Gucci. It is the Armani. It is the Louis Vuitton of CarPlay. So, well, with that, I hope I've covered everything, and I've seen many videos, and I don't think I've seen a video that's covered everything. Usually missing like the parking stuff, that's all. I think I've covered everything. If not, I'll make another video, but thanks for coming along. If you got this far, there's going to be the link to the unit and a discount in the link in the description below. So, you know, if you're going to get it, you'll get a little bit off, which off £1,000, yeah, it could be significant. Like I said, thanks for coming along with this video. It'd be really great if you give it a thumbs up, and even better if you could subscribe. And with that, I'll see you all on the next one. Bye!